Morning, everyone. Welcome in. Betsperts Golf here for 2024 Worldwide Technology. Are we a championship? Are we an open? We're a championship.
Championship.
It's a
championship.
We had the Masters walk-in. This does feel a little bit more fitting than the Valero Texas Open, since this is a Tiger Woods golf course. Andy, what's going on?
Yeah, Texas, Mexico, whatever, Paspalum. When we joke about landing a 747 on the runway, on the fairway, excuse me, I think you could land two next to each other on these fairways. I'm going to say
we get one on the greens too.
You could probably land one on the greens. Definitely multiple helicopters or one Apache. They are massive. It is a resort course. It is still swing season. We're not going to the concession, guys. We're not, we're not going to Memorial. Fuck, can you imagine playing that right now? It's probably so cold in Ohio.
Not too bad. Probably rainy today.
Actually, it has been very rainy in the Midwest, obviously. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this course, but the field is
that's the course preview.
Yeah, the field is probably worse than some of the other ones where we've been like, hey, this is a bad field. There's only a few names even inside like the top 75. You're not going to get a lot of big names to come here, but I mean, a lot of guys are fighting for that top 125 to, have the tour status for next year. Some of the guys are even fighting to get towards that 50 through 60 where they can sneak their way into some really big money events, including some of these no-cut, guaranteed check signature events next year. So, I mean, we'll still figure it out, but I might just use the Sanderson model I built a few weeks ago and see what I think of that one, see where we're at, and kind of take it from there.
Yeah, there's obviously, I think, for a multitude of reasons, a lot of, I think, common threads through the fall swing events. They are less testing, less strategy. It is, easier golf. Part of it is, it's the season, so they're playing a lot of resort style courses because that's where the weather is nice. This one, though, takes the cake in terms of, its ease. So, this event, if you look back at the last handful of years, was at a different golf course. It was El Camino. That was a Norman course, which is now a staple of the Live Golf Tour. So no longer there. Last year was our first year at this event. No shot link data. But we do know that the course, like Andy said, massive fairways. There literally is no rough. The average width of these fairways is more than double a majority of the tour events we see during the main season, the regular season. Like, we are dealing with, on average, 60-yard wide fairways with no rough. You do have obviously native areas that are basically the only. I mean, again, you have to be just so far off.
Arroyos.
Really even, it's just not really. There's water and play on one hole. And big boy greens in terms of just the size, I think what would be the largest on tour during the regular season as well. So resort style golf, EVR won here last year at 27 under. But again, no shot link data. And be careful going back in terms of previous results at this event because it was at a different golf course. So it's just birdies, Andy. It's birdies and recent form, I think, and a pretty basic model to be built.
So we make it sound really easy. There is some strategy if you're a 12 handicap golfer heading here for vacation, because you're not going to be able to hit the ball 300 on regularly.
Distance.
300 is average. That's the average tour, driving right now. Like, if you can't hit the ball a long ways, you're going to deal with some of these bunkering areas. You're going to deal with some bad angles. You're going to deal with some long approach shots. It is a long course. It is a very long course, technically. But with your ability to just rip driver, there's no holes where it's we're probably gonna hit a 3, probably gonna hit a stinger here or whatever. It just doesn't happen here. So most of these guys, unless they're really wayward or find a bunker on the rollout, they're going to have a pretty nice approach shot in. It's going to be middling approach shots. It's not going to be wedges. It's still long.
Mhm.
So approach is important. Total driving is important. Probably if you're building a model, I might throw in 3-putt avoidance. It's higher here than most places because I mean it just that's a perfect freaking R squared of like 1. It's like green size to 3-putt avoidance. I mean,
Yeah.
That is some of these places where they're just like putting on the hood of a car. A lot of it is just these greens are huge. So technically this is a putt, even though there's a lot of courses where you'd be 30 yards off the green if you landed a ball there. It's a big fair or big greens, but a couple of them do have some undulations, a couple of them some unique shapes. So you do have to be good at lag putting to make sure you're scoring when you have your eagle putts from 80 feet on, on these 5s. You want to be able to leave that with a 4. You don't want a 3-putt for par. Nobody likes that, and that's not going to win you a tournament. Speaking of the 5s, 2 of them are very reachable. There's going to be a lot of legitimate makeable eagle putts, one on either end of the course. So like you said, it's scoring. I don't know. We could use birdies or better. You could use birdies or better on par 5s. You could use 3-putt avoidance. Maybe just overall approach rather than some sort of bucket, and then total driving is kind of where I'm at.
I mean, I don't even know.
I'm going to pull up my model from Sanderson.
Yeah, see what you get. Let's build this out in the rabbit hole. We continue to add new stuff to the rabbit hole every week. So if you're not checked in a while or you haven't seen this at all, there's lots of new stuff new stuff going on the player pages, finishing positions, new stuff in miscellaneous metrics, overall approach versus just having it bucketed out to fairway and rough. If that's your thing, that's on here now too. Just continue to add to this, and we will continue to add until we have it where we absolutely want it. The player pages are awesome. Definitely check that out. Lots of continued additions to make this the best and only resource you will possibly need coming up for the 2025 golf season to handicap and play DFS. Sick.
Obviously very sick because it's all I use now. I very much enjoy using the tool. I have my resort model. I call it the simple chicken model because it only used 3 data points, and I used it for Sanderson. It was a 50% form over the last 12 months in shitty fields, shitty courses, resort courses, alt events, Detroit, Minnesota, places like that. Driving distance, 30%, putting, 20%. I'm looking at my top 10. How many can you name with amount of guesses until you want to quit?
Your top 10. All right. So distance, putting, form, but some of those alt field events. Max Gracerman.
Number 1 on the board. Oh, this is like a Family Feud. Number 1 answer. Max
Nice.
Gracerman. Yeah.
Bo Hostler.
Bo Hostler, number 3 answer. We surveyed 100 golfers.
Putting's way too heavily for JJ Spawn, but I think he might still make it in. JJ Spawn.
He's a little lower. He's down at 17th.
Yeah, so putting probably weighed him down quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
Doug Gim.
Doug Gim not in there. I thought so too. He's a little lower as well. His driving distance isn't up there.
Harry Hall.
Harry Hall, very much number 5 answer. His putting has been a lot better lately as well.
Ben Griffin.
Ben Griffin, number 7. Number 1 in form, number 13 in putting. Driving distance isn't quite there. Didn't matter for him.
Killer Keith.
Killer Keith is number 9. Putting weighing him down, but fuck, the form and distance is just way too much for that.
Your boy Rico.
Rico's a little lower. One of your boys is in this.
Interesting. Ekro.
No. You've given him a nickname.
Shipley.
Neil Shipley, number 6.
Let's go. Horsey Sauce, number 6.
Horsey Sauce, yes.
Oh, I love it.
Surprising to me.
Yeah, he's played some of his better golf on harder courses, actually.
So yeah, it's weird. He's played, like you said, he played good in a couple good events, but he's also done well in the bad ones.
Matt McNeely.
His driving distance a little lower. A little lower. Eckroat was 15th. McNeely's 19th. You're
Interesting.
missing Eric Van Rooyen.
The defending champ.
Defending champ is number 2. Sam Stevens, number 4.
Yeah. Harris English.
Jacob Bridgman, number 8.
Bridgman,
English
good
is a
punter.
little lower.
Okay.
And then number 10, it's German. Matty
Schmidt.
Yeah. And now I've been starring them to mark them off, and now I have them all starred, and I don't want that. I want to clear up my favorites here.
All right. It seems like a pretty decent model. I mean, it's a lot of guys near the top of the betting board. So there's some confirmation bias. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't need a lot in this. I'll blow this out here on.
So we'll build a model with more kind of focused key stats. And then anybody who matches between mine and that one, I'm just going to bet. And that's how I'm doing it this week. A few small bets. A lot of money is, just going to be tied up in week 10 of football and the election instead.
Sounds like a good way to do it. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to add, this is going to capture, I think, a little bit of recent form. We go into the filter by condition section. Event season, I want to grab the fall swing. Let's see who's playing well currently. Again, it's going to capture some shorter term form. There's Lucas Glover, Matty Schmidt. What else do we have here? Scrolling. Pat Kazire, Doug Gim, Joe Highsmith, Harry Hall, Max Grayson, Bo Hostler, Wes Bryan, Taylor Moore. So some of those guys are on your current list. We'll add this here. I'm going to go fall swing. Okay. It's going to capture some of our recent short-term form. Because, again, these events, for the most part, these fields are just – I feel like there's less just, new faces in here at this point with the way that the PGA Tour is working. These fall swing events are basically just running back the same dudes every week, which is fine. Like you said, kind of a crap event for us. There's a better event on the DP World Tour this week. If you want to bet some of the top of the board, Rory's, Hatton's, Tommy Fleetwood's, in Abu Dhabi, it's a pretty good event. But here we are, PGA Tour.
It's kind of the case for the next few weeks.
Yeah,
even the Australian and I think the next 3 weeks there's a DP championship next week, and then Fortinet Australian in 2 weeks. Those are all pretty good events if you like to bet Europe and like to stay up to weird hours. Hell, maybe you live in Australia.
Yeah, good fields for sure. I'm going to go into the conditions again. Let's look at some easy scoring conditions. Who's played well when the test is not very hard. I'll back out the sample size to get a little bit more. Let's see here. We'll go the last calendar year. Easy, very easy scoring conditions. We're going to get 40 plus rounds from most of these guys. And again, some familiar names that were on your list: Ben Griffin, Matt Kuchar, JJ Spawn, Grayserman, Harry Hall, Harris English, Fishburne, who I thought was probably going to be on your list, Rico, and Svensson, Rogers, Hostler right there, Eckroat, EVR. Yeah, this is an important metric, I think, for what we're trying to capture here. So easy scoring. That's why I'm easy. So driving doesn't really matter. I mean, there's distance here, but do we want to look at spots where just driver heavy, low miss fairway penalty, just driving distance, total driving is going to capture an element of accuracy, and I don't even think that matters at all.
It does a little with some of the position. There is some positional stuff you want to do, but
yeah, it's probably fair.
I don't. But the kind of accuracy we're describing isn't describing what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. When we're saying accuracy in this sense, we're saying, did you find the fairway or not, in a very binary way. It isn't, did you put yourself in the right spot? That's more good drives gained, where that
good drive percentage was 94% here last year. So
I know. So it's hard to use it as a differentiator.
Yeah. I'm gonna do driver heavy. I don't know if I want to. Well, let's overfit it. Let's just see what we have. Let's go off the tee club driver with a low miss fairway penalty. So these guys, it's basically like grip it and rip it. Let's see what that sample looks like. Last 6 months, not a lot. We'll go back here. Let's say last 18 months. We'll capture a little bit of the swing season. That's a decent sample. Guys can just absolutely pound it. It's a ball striking stat, really. This is what I'm trying to capture is I don't really care about tee to green or total because it's giving me more putting. I really want to get a sense of, how are you playing with your first 2 shots when you could just let it fly off the tee. Keith Mitchell, Cam Champ, Cam Young, Johnny Vegas, Doug Gim. Again, that, bomber.
Well, and I like Mitchell in a spot like this where he can't, hit a bomb into water.
Yeah.
I've seen him he's a little squirrely, long and squirrely where, God, I think it was maybe 3M. I saw him hit just a beautiful drive right into a pond. It's like, oh man, that'd have been great if that water wasn't there.
Yeah. I think you get a little tight on Sunday too. Driver heavy, low missed fairway penalty. This is ball striking too. I think it's good because I like how we're seeing a mix of distance and accuracy guys. Doug Gim not long off the tee, Tom Hoagie not long off the tee, Berger not long off the tee, Carson Young, JJ Spawn, pretty middling distance guys. So this is kind of giving us a story of like, hey, what can we do when we don't have to think about it? And it's just club head cover off, grip and rip and see what happens. I think that's probably pretty good. Probably a little bit more on approach, right? Because that matters maybe more than anything here is just putting yourself in good position. Or are we double counting with some of the form and ball striking stuff?
You can put approach in there. Approach never hurts.
I agree. Just short term, last 6 months approach. Fine with that. Again, 40 to 50 rounds for these guys. That's probably fine. Last 6 months approach. Again, not an overcomplicated model, but I think one that can be pretty predictive based off of what's happened here in the past.
Who's throwing darts? Yeah.
Putting, scoring. I mean, I don't want to get into any Paspalum scoring. Okay. It's Paspalum, tips to toes.
There's just not big enough sample sizes on Paspalum to be like, this guy's a Paspalum specialist. Oh, Paspalum merchant, Pat Kazire. That's just because I saw his name. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, just birdies or better is fine.
Yeah, I like it. Just
bogey avoidance is probably not a thing here. If you are constantly having to avoid bogeys,
you're dead.
Yeah, you're getting 80th anyway.
Yeah, you're already done. So, we could do 3-putt. Let's put 3-putt avoidance though. I think that was a good call out. Yeah. 25 plus feet, just 3-putt avoidance in general. I think we kind of have the distance because that's.
Let's do the big one. Yeah, I've never used that one in a model. I'm gonna throw that one in. Let's see. Let's add a minimum round for Omar Morales.
No offense, Mr. Morales.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. Ooh, God, nothing I love more than triple digit Trey Mullinax. This is gonna come up here. 3-putt, 25 plus. All right. I think this is pretty good, man.
Oh. All right, run it. Let's run it. Yep. I ain't got all day for the worldwide tech. We've got NFL models to update. Boy, we've got trade rumors.
Trade deadline. Yeah.
I gotta go vote.
Oh man, I bet I voted.
Do you know where I gotta go vote, Ryan? It's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, but you have there's no lines. There's gonna be like 5 people.
No, there won't be a line. I just hate trying to remember what gravel road to turn on to get to this tiny town hall. It's a township hall, actually.
Well, it would be massive lines for me, but I did it a couple weeks ago, so we don't have to worry about it. So 3-putt. I'm going to capture it, but I don't think it needs a ton. Maybe we circle back and give it a little bit more. Birdies are going to matter a lot.
I can't see your screen. I think you shared funny.
Oh, I did. I'm going to stop this.
You absolute pelican.
Yeah, I did. I shared funny. Share screen. Window. I did.
Share the window.
There we go. Better. All right. Birdies matter. Approach matters. We'll go back to the top. Let's go fall swing. Who's been playing good golf? Easy scoring. Yeah, that matters. Driver heavy. That matters. And we'll go 20 here. Yeah. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give this a little bit more. I'm going to give this A little bit more.
Little boost.
And we're
100%.
good.
There we go.
Save as expert model. Let's see what we
If
got.
you are a member,
Member.
or become one, Ryan did something called saving it as an expert model. So you can go in and click view expert models and look for the one that says betting show WWT, and you can view this model. You can sort it. You can play with it. You can go build your own. You can print it out. You can select, make it a CSV. You can put it in a slideshow. You can play with it in Excel, whatever you want to do. So we're going to take a peek at what we got here. And I didn't even look. I was too busy vamping. JJ Spawn, number 1. God damn it. I'm going to... Ben Griffin, I'm guessing his price is near the top.
Expensive. Yeah, it is.
Anyway.
Let's see. Yeah, it's not too bad. 25 to 28 on Ben Griffin. Spawn, our top, same price basically. 28 to 25. Doug Gim, shorter. 18 to 22 on Doug Gim. The glove, same. 20, short as 20, as long as 28. Pat Gazire getting rewarded for his earlier season win. Further down the board, if you were looking to sprinkle there, 75s on Pat Gazire. The betting markets do not think Pat Gazire is a 2-time fall swing winner. There's probably something to that. Ben Griffin, Johnny Vegas, another surprise winner on tour late in the season, a little shorter, 25 to 30 or so. Keith Mitchell in that range as well, as long as 33. Not bad on Keith. Neil Shipley, I'm gonna have to get in on horsey sauce here. 55s, as short as 40. That's short. 55 is of interest. Joe Highsmith, not a name I don't think I've ever clicked in any form. 70 on Joe Highsmith. I'm gonna pass there. Harry Hall, not a name you mind clicking.
Oh, no.
Big fella. I don't know if you've seen him. Big guy, large.
30 to 1. Harry Hall, Ben Griffin, 28 to 1. Keith Mitchell, 37 to 1. And your boy, Neil Shipley, 58 to 1. Whole card just got built.
I like it.
I don't want to go too deep. I don't think like this is a Smotherman comes from nowhere and wins at a big number, but I do want to kind of avoid betting Doug Gim at 20 to 1.
Thank you. Matty Schmidt, I wanted him to be a little longer.
He is way up the board.
He's been playing really well. He's been in the mix.
Am I gonna have to have a five person card? I might add Matty. He's a question mark if I can find something better than 25.
Yeah, you can find a 28 enhanced on Rivers, 25 if I want to each way it. Yeah, I wish it was a little longer, but maybe. That might still be a play. He's 22nd our model, so not terrible. He's still in the mix. You can see, nice fall swing, getting bumped up there. Number 2, the ball striking on the driver heavy situation is weighing him down, but making birdies too, top 10 in that metric too. So again, if you're just kind of boiling it down to he's playing well in the fall and he can make a ton of birdies, those are probably the 2 metrics that if I were to think more about, weighing this model, that I probably want more than anything else. He's top 10 in both. So, and where was Shipley in those? Okay, he's fine. He's fine across the board. Same thing. Keith Mitchell, fine across the board. So, yeah, I'm probably going to give Matty Schmidt some of my money to win a golf tournament here. So, that's it. Nothing else jumping out. Ben Griffin probably is too long considering how well he's playing.
If you bet Matty Schmidt, do you have to parlay it with one of the teams, Giants, Carolina?
I was thinking, do I have to pair it with like one of his countrymen on the DP World Tour?
I'm talking about betting the Munich game.
I do not want to bet.
Can you imagine he's in the lead and you have to sweat like the Giants -5 on a neutral site? Maybe play him solo too, but that's a fun one.
That'd be tough.
What if you had Matty Schmidt, like 60 to 1 as well, parlayed with the Giants or the Panthers? I don't know how I feel about that game yet. I feel like I don't want to get up early and watch it.
I feel like we're not giving the Germans our best. No. But hey,
such is life. I know that sucks. How many Germans do you think bought tickets just to see Jonathan Mingo? And will be just be so disappointed.
now they're gonna get a lot more Jalen Coker than they wanted.
9. It's a Cowboy.
Good day for the Cokeheads.
Good day for sure. Anything else on the worldwide technology? No, have you bet anybody yet?
No, I did a preliminary like similar to this model last night. Matty Schmidt was a little higher in it, and I almost did, but I'm like, I want to get Andy's thoughts on it and run it. But I think that was where I was leaning, just because I'm just the last couple of events I've been watching. I'm like, this guy's playing really good golf. Maybe there'll be a time to pick off a nice big number on him. And I didn't think he'd be in the 25 region. So now I feel like some of those times it's like it's weird with golf, and maybe it's just me.
Oh, and it's like further south. Maybe some of his family comes up from Argentina.
Okay, I like where your head's at here. Like sometimes when you like in your mind want to back a guy, it's so like you have to actually follow through with it, because if the thought of the FOMO of not having the ticket, if he's actually in the mix, is painful.
I know what you mean. I think that's where I'm at with Ben Griffin at this point. I've played so much Ben Griffin, like I'm just paying a Ben Griffin off-season tax.
Correct.
And probably in some of the other like whatever events he decides he's going to be participating in come spring. I'm not going to bet him in the like. What's the other one? Not the Tournament of Champions. Sony's Tournament of Champions.
No, Sony's the second event in Hawaii.
Sony's the other one. Okay.
Kapalua. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to see where he's involved in some of the, not super high end fields come spring, because I think he can win.
First thing I did is I went into the rabbit hole, typed out Thor, found he was in the field. I'm like, okay, now we can,
now we can move on.
Put some money elsewhere.
Okay, next thing.
Yeah. So that's it.
All right. If you watch this live or second hand, whatever, later on, please hit the subscribe button. That helps us a ton. If you listen to this in podcast form, leave us a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify. That also helps. Follow us at Betsperts Golf, and still running the Rebet special. If you want to take advantage of it and get an entire $250 valued subscription, you can. All you have to do is live in or travel to one of the orange states on the screen. It is everyone but Michigan, Nevada, Idaho, and Montana. Sign up for Rebet using the code in the description. Buy $10 worth of Rebet coins, and we'll send you a promo code that's good for an entire free year of Betsperts Golf, the rabbit hole, all our tools, all our premium features, articles, and everything else, including a members-only Discord. If you have questions, DM either of us. I'm at AndyMSFW. He's at RY Noonan on Twitter. We'll catch you guys next week for, can you name the tournament, Ryan?
Butterfield, Bermuda.
The Butterfield Bermuda Classic.
You can bet the election on Rebet. Just FYI, if you're watching this today, Tuesday.
I have some Rebet coins.
Rebet, I think they have states along with just the actual, winner. You can bet states as well if you want to sweat the election with a little bit of coinage on it.
And also go vote, because I bet a couple of prices on a record turnout, which we just have because population goes up. But you also need enthusiasm to vote. So I would like there to be a record turnout, but I also took a long shot on 165 to 170 million people vote, which would be a roughly 67.6% of the eligible voters, which would break the percentage turnout we had in 2020. But it was 7-1. So I need it to fall in a certain range. At a certain point, if we have this crazy record, be like, all right, pump the brakes. Maybe we need to throw some ballots out at this point, guys.
Let's burn some ballot boxes.
Let's burn some ballot boxes. So, all right, we'll see you guys next week.